Hello, this is Devin Reininger with Global Color Systems, and today I'm going to unbox and also show you guys how to connect to the software GlossTools that it comes with so you can calibrate and do some basic measurements. So this is the actual instrument. You can see I have a 60-degree version, and again, this is the 1120.6.s.1, which means it is the non-contact version. So hooking up to the computer is a little bit different than just the regular contact version. So as you can see, I've got the cable here from Proceq. Now this cable is going to have three different ends. One end that goes to the actual instrument, an RS-232 connection, and then a USB connector that is basically the power for the instrument itself. Now a couple things to keep in mind as well. Your instrument might look a little bit different. Zehntner was purchased by Proceq going about a year ago now, so that would have been, I believe, 2019. And basically they rebranded all the instruments, so although it may look a little bit different, it is actually the exact same unit here. It'll just say Zehntner here instead of Proceq. It also comes with a calibration standard, as you can see, so for doing daily, weekly calibrations, and then also the USB stick as well that has GlossTools, the software. So I'm going to go ahead here and flip over to the software GlossTools, which basically you can just install right onto your PC. It's a local desktop application, pretty simple, easy to use. All right, so now that I've got you guys flipped around here, you can see I've got it right here. It's a little, looks just like the instrument. Open that guy up. So here's the initial interface. And again, I am going to connect the instrument itself with an RS-232 connector here. So just a generic RS-232, and I have USB-C on my computer, depending on what computer you have, obviously. Could be a USB, so I'm going to plug that in over here on the left. And then obviously connect that right here. And then again, I'm going to take this, which is actually the power for the instrument. Now you can either use like a generic wall plug, like for instance, I've got just an Apple block, or you can just plug it straight into the computer. I'm actually just going to plug it straight into the computer for ease of use. And then obviously this end here is a different type of USB that just plugs right into the back of the unit as such. Now, as you can see, once your instrument is connected, it will populate over here on this left-hand side underneath the gloss meters, but there is a few settings we're actually going to have to play with first before we can do that. So we'll go into the tools over here, go down to options, and you'll see a couple different things. So first, obviously, you can change the language. Got a handful there, but you're going to go over to where it says RS-232. So the first thing we obviously have to do is enable that because we are using an RS-232 instrument. And then secondly, we have to use the RS-232 fast. So the generic cable from Proceq that we sell is the fast version. There's really no disadvantage to using the fast version, so we always do. Now, as you can see, it says the program needs to be closed and started new if the fast setting is changed. So basically, we're going to hit OK, and then we're going to exit out of the software. And then we're basically just going to reopen it just so we can apply the settings. Now, again, if I have everything hooked up correctly, right when I come back in, I can just click over here where it says refresh list, and you can see the gloss meter has been recognized and populated. You shouldn't have to specify the COM port. Now you can if you want to, but it should automatically detect it. So now that I've got that, I'll just take some basic measurements just to show you. So if I go over here, I'm just going to create a new project. You can obviously name that. I'm just going to name it non-contact demo. Click OK. So this is the basic screen. Pretty much two things you're going to do with it. One, you can just take generic measurements. So just so you guys can see, I'll just measure one of my keys right here. So there's a couple different ways. I can either click this top button like you see, or I can click measure within the software, and it'll take a measurement both ways. And then second, basically you can calibrate the unit. So basically to do that, you click calibrate. It'll kind of walk you through. The first thing it'll say, hey, here's the serial number, angle you'd like to calibrate. Now if you have the 2060 version, obviously there's two different angles you'll have to calibrate. So when you go through next, there actually would be a 20-degree angle here as well. And you can basically just select whether or not you want to do just the 60, or if you want to do the 20 and 60-degree measurement. It'll tell you what the value should be. And then basically it'll say, hey, would you like to start calibration? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my non-contact standard. I'm going to take my instrument. I'm going to just rest it right in there smooth like that. Then I'm going to go ahead down and click start. And you'll see it basically is taking continuous measurements until it says the calibration is completed. If you want, you can check. It is completed with 1.5%. Basically, there can be some dust, debris, things like that on the standard and within the instrument. So if you're having trouble calibrating, first try obviously blowing that and cleaning the standard. And then if you're still having issues, obviously you can give us a call. That's kind of the basics of setting up your instrument and using the GlossTools software. Thanks.